Destiny is in the hands of
What's up, guys? So here's kind of a concept that I've been working on here. This is Matthew with Firearm Tactical, by the way. I came up with this theory. I'm trying to test. I'm in the middle of testing it out right now. I'm not really sure if I am 100% sold on it or not. I'm trying to find some negatives about it. Excuse me for 1 second here. Having a hard time finding bad things to say about this concept, however. And basically the concept goes like this, that if you're ever, even on the range, but especially if you're in an area, operating in an area that has heavy vegetation, tall grass, trees, pretty much everywhere other than a nice, smooth, tractor cut gun range. And if you've ever actually had to, operate there or train there in a situation where you had to drop your magazines, you've probably had a pretty good time trying to find those magazines. I know I have. I know multiple guys that we've trained with and so on and so forth have had this problem, which is kind of why we came up with this potential solution. Anyhow, the concept is that there's a certain amount of magazine real estate, I guess you can say, that could potentially be painted, in this case, a fluorescent orange or some sort of a, whatever stands out, better for you, I guess. Orange seems to be kind of what we use, just because it's not, you don't really find it in nature or, really anywhere for that matter, other than construction sites, so on and so forth. But it's not really going to blend in environments that you're probably going to be operating in. And, maybe the desert or so on and so forth, might be harder to see the fluorescent orange in the sandy environment. I don't know. That's something you'd have to test out and maybe use something different color. But the concept is still the same. And that is that the only time you're really going to see that color is when it's laying on the ground. Such as, for instance, here I have one stowed in a magazine pouch on my plate carrier, and it's fluorescent orange. Let me back out here a little bit. Sorry, guys. And on the top part of the mag. But see, when it's stowed in the magazine pouch, of course, doing this with one hand might prove to be easier said than done. You never see it. Same thing with over here within the rifle itself. Obviously you don't see it at all. You can't visibly see it if you do it right. If you paint it high enough, anywhere on the rifle. But when it comes to once it leaves that gun, you see it right there. So one argument might be that you can see it when you're changing mags. Okay, 'tis true, but if anybody's ever taken any classes on camouflaging and obviously understanding the difference in how your eye picks up, shape, size, movement, so on and so forth, shine, you realize that the movement of changing that mag out is going to be spotted a lot sooner than the actual color of that magazine itself, most of the time. So there are exceptions to that rule, I know, and I'm not going to go into full detail about that because I'm trying to keep this video short and sweet. I'm already getting kind of long as it is. So anyway, that argument's kind of a moot point. Therefore, I'll add some pictures on here too of some different things we've taken. We haven't, unfortunately, we're in the middle of winter here, so we don't have a whole lot of vegetation to experiment with. But we have, experimented with thicker vegetation, and we found this to be, a lot easier to find these mags, laying on the ground at distance and obviously up close. certain vegetation, you know, you could walk right over your mag if it didn't have some way of standing out and would never know it was there. It just, you know, they blend in too well. So that's the concept, and we're going to post this video and we'll kind of see what you guys think. Thanks.
The power went off, the economy crashed, but we're all packed up and we're out of town fast, hoping that the law just keeps their oath. Now we're rolling down the road like it ain't no thing. If you keep your mags loaded, you were out this spring. But tonight they're ready to go, 'cause tonight they're loaded up. Rolling on down, friends in the choir.